Good day and welcome to episode 51 of my Krastorio playthrough. And today I'm going to go through the rework of a few things that happened in the last episode, as was kindly, as somebody kindly informed me. The numbers of nuclear power are differently in the Krastorio mod, actually. So the neighbor bonus is working differently with different numbers. So we're going to have to rearrange this a little bit. So I already did some math about that. We're producing 375 megawatt of heat, and every single heat exchanger consumes 50 megawatt of heat. So if we put that up on a calculator, this leads us to 1,500 megawatt of heat, which translates into 30 heat exchangers. So we're having a lot too many heat exchangers here. Right now we're having, 48 of them. We have to crop out 18, and then it's going to be okay. So basically, let's see, maybe one of those sides is, it's 24 and 24. So it's 12 everywhere. I'm going to remove, I have 12 on every side, and I need 30 overall. It's nothing that I can divide. Well, I would need 10 on every side, right? Right. So, we would need 10 here globally, so I'll need 14 less. So 4, 6, 8, 10. 12 now here. So it's going to look like this. So I'm very, very grateful for that message, because I somehow, well, it was false to assume that nuclear power would just work the same, but, well, luckily I got spared from that mistake. We're having now 10 on this side, and now I'm going to need 10 on this side and 10 on this side, and we're going to be good. So here I only need to crop out 2. And then we're going to check out how many of the turbines I'm actually needing. And here I already made the supply line working. We're going to make the output line working too in a minute. Just right now I wanted to build back the parts that were too much. So now we're having 30 of these guys. Good. And also I noticed that we're having a water demand of 250 per heat exchanger. That's 30 times 250. So we're going to need 7,500 units of water here. That's going to be the output of 8 water pumps, as a matter of fact. So we're going to have to produce a few more. A second, we're going to need 7. So I'm just cycling through these research projects right now without taking too much into account what I'm researching right now. So there goes. We're producing now. Well, I can't look it up like that. Or can I? It's 10,000 water. Did I? Did I get something wrong here? Oh, they're having 1250 per second. Oh, that's why. I see. So we're needing 2 2 offshore pumps per 10 heat exchangers, right? So now we have 7.5k. Yeah. Well, that's quite nice that they have ratios that work so well together. Let's just power them up. And then there's going to be the water we need. Oops, I accidentally connected them on the wrong network. Because this is my my water storage there. that. So that's the water for the nuclear power. I'm going to lay it over here. And now I have to check it out what we're going to need. In amount, what amount of turbines I'm actually needing. Where are the pipes? Do I even have pipes on me? I do. The new icons everywhere still confuse me a lot. So there we go. There goes the water supply. Because there's no nuclear power without water, ever. And I'm going to get that water from the other side into the system there. So do it like that. Why is there no water in that system there? Just not enough? Or what's happening there? I'm confused. Well, we're going to look into that in a second when the connections are up and running. So no, it's not going to work like that. Okay, there we go. So there's just not enough water flowing through here. That's all that happens here. So we're going to divide that into 3 branches then. There's going to be 1 branch for every 10 of those. So this is going to be the water supply for the first 10. And I'm going to cut it off here. So that's that. Let's see if that'll work better. I'm going to install some pumps in between as well, but I can't imagine that this would be the problem. The connections are that short. The water pressure shouldn't be a problem. I just think that the connections are just overstressed with that amount of stuff flowing through. Let's see if a steel pipe has more flow available. So yeah, steel pipes are probably necessary to do that, because they can steel pipes are able to sustain a bigger amount of water. So here we just, I just want to watch if everything is working out as intended, you know. From time to time I like to check out if everything's still fine. So we're now getting, oops, that water over here. And looks like I'm going to need a little stop by the whole factory, because I feel like I'm running dry on resources here. Okay, so it's going to be this connector here. Boom. So now they're having some water input. Yeah, that's working better. And last but not least, we now have to connect this here. Maybe I'll come by with the amount of pipes I have. Who knows? So, the water pipe madness continues. things are starting to get really messy here, I think. So that's that, and we're getting closer to this connector here. Oops. Okay, so now they all should get their water. Let's check it out. Well, why is the water not flowing here anymore? So, why is this not filling like it should be? So, these pipes are not getting full. Why is that so? Well, there's no clear reason visible here apart from the stuff just has to work its way through the pipes here. So possibly I'm going to produce some more pumps here, because obviously the water can use some speed up here. So I'm going to make it like this. Let's get some power over there. And then we have to figure out the recycling of the whole thing there. And then we have like this. And then we have like that. So okay, it was the wrong direction though. So now it's working. So the pumps here in between should press the water forward, and a speed that's going to be more sufficient. So we're now asking how many turbines. So this thing generates 250 units of steam per second. These consume 50 units of steam per second, so there's going to be 5 turbines per heat exchanger. That makes 30 times 5. That's just a whopping amount of 150. Is this correct? Yeah. Basically sounds like it is. Wow. But yeah, these steam turbines are really not giving much output each. Well, 10 megawatt is a lot, but 50 units of steam per second, they're pretty... Yeah, I'm getting the math right here. There's 30 times 5 is 150. Wow. We have to expand by almost the double amount. Okay. Well, that means I'm going to pick up a few more turbines out of the main factory, and then we're going to see what's next. Going to pick up some pipes as well, because obviously these are running low too. There it goes. Whoa. That was a little bit much of a drift there. That's why. Forgot to close my browser in the background. I was wondering why the game got so laggy. Okay. So there we are. Getting myself some tools. I want some more underground belts here as well. I feel like 29 are not enough. So, the turbines, where did I build them again? There. So, luckily I'm having 80 more in here. but I'm going to limit this chest pretty hard. So that's 72. That should be enough. Okay. So I'll grab myself some more inserters. I feel like I could need them too. Yeah, maybe some red inserters as well. Okay, let's get back to the power plant. There are still two things that I need to set up, and that's the recycling of the empty fuel cells and the Covarex refinement of the uranium itself. Okay, yeah, the personal roboport research done. I really feel like my research output is very quick overall. So we're modernizing the belt system here already, but well, when we modernize this whole plant, there's going to be a lot more necessary than just the belts, but I'm going to let the car stand here. Can replace the belts in the meantime. There's no harm to that. Okay, so oh look, they're glowing. Are they hot to the touch? No. So what we're going to need now is a dropout for the used uranium cells. So the dropout system I figured would begin over here. Then we need to snuggle it over like this. And I'm going to use red inserters to output the depleted stuff there. On this side, so there we go. It's the depleted stuff on this side. And here we have to use the red inserters to get the depleted stuff out. There we go. So here we have the empty fuel cells. These have to be replenished. But before I can do that, I have to take care of this this turbine madness. So I'll build away these. So another thing I'm noticing is when I'm having such a vast production of steam, I'm also going to need a few more pumps or such in between. Oh, can't insert those steam turbines. Because obviously I'm going to have a similar problem like I had with the water there, and this one is quite nasty. So overall, this will mean there have to be 5 of them on every line. So there goes. So that's the first 50, if I didn't get it wrong here. Yeah, it's the first 50. I don't need to reroute my belts at all. It's a perfect fit. So oops. But I feel like the smartest way to do it would be to have a pump in front of every of these things here. But, well, I would need to dislodge the whole system here to cram a pump in between those. It's really nasty. I already have such a massive storage of steam. We're going to try it out. Maybe it'll just work out fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to drop down 50 of those buggers. Or 25 on each side. Let's do it like that. So we're going to make here, that's 10 of them.
Mama. Okay.
10 more of them. That's 20. And we're going to need a last batch here, and that's going to be the 25, and I'm going to build the same thing on the other side as well. So my first experiment here will be to check out everything just works out if I don't mess around here, but I just came to the conclusion that all the steam turbines will live on one side. I just don't seem to find the room here. So we're having now, what, that's 10, 20, 30, it's going to be the cluster for the 40, and then I have to squeeze in another cluster here. But, well, look there, it fits. So these are 150 steam turbines. I hope I got it all correct there, but it seems to me like I understood the numbers correctly. Okay, so next step is these. Oh, I forgot to bring up pipes. I knew I forgot something. So we can't mix with different fluids. No. Oh, that's so annoying. So I'll either pipe it through on to the other side, or I'll find another connector for this guy. I don't like where this is going. Oh, I just gotta accept that this one steam turbine has to live somewhere else. It's going to break the symmetry. I'm sad, but what can I do? Oh, you know that feeling when something just can't accept something? I don't want to accept this. I want to keep my symmetry. So I'm going to connect this guy over, like here. So overall, I'm going to be very, very careful about the question if all of these turbines get enough steam during the time, or if I have to get some pumps in between. Or are pumps even the right thing? I mean, basically, in terms of the game, it should be a fluid, although I feel like it's very weird to consider steam a fluid. But I think in terms of game mechanics, the game would handle it as like it would handle fluids. So now everybody is connected. We're just having the need of the recycling facility here. I'm going to pipe it through here. So we're going to get a red undergrounder here. There we go. And boom. That's going to lead back to where we started. Alright. So to finish the process, we have now what? The empty fuel cells. How did that recipe work again? So empty fuel cells. Now I forgot where I found the recipe for that. So the uranium fuel cell is produced out of a steel plate and that stuff. Uranium-238 can be... Ah, there we go. It's made in a centrifuge. I see. So we're needing a centrifuge there. Okay. So this stuff goes into the centrifuge, where it gets recycled. So now we have to output it again on some belt system. Oops. But I don't know. Well, that's okay. I'm going to make it like this. So I'm going to pipe this stuff like over here, and this is going to be where the uranium-235 is going on 238. So this is the first bigger assault of these guys that destroyed something. Actually, I lost turrets in the process of that. I'm horrified. So I have to take care of that next before we can go for that. This is a real problem there. So I lost laser turrets. Okay. So let's check out the problem. It's just not enough firepower at this side of the wall. So we're just dropping down a few extra gun turrets here. Let's feed them with extra ammo. And possibly I should pick up the car and just get me some new laser turrets. So better energy shield, portable fusion reactor. Stuff is getting really high tech now. So that's that. Let's get back to the recycling plant. So we're now having this, and the uranium-235 is something I'm not having enough. Okay, so next stop is the stone. We're just piping through the stone here. I don't really have a clue what to do with the stone as of yet, but we're just going to make it disappear into a giant warehouse. Maybe I'll have to destroy it from time to time, who knows. Jokes aside, I'm going to store another really valuable stuff which is left over here in another box, and that's going to be tritium. Tritium is later on necessary for the fusion power. So, but this system will give me the ability to recycle my my stuff endlessly, and that's really nice. So the last thing I'm needing is another centrifuge to procure some extra uranium-235, because obviously I'm not having enough of that. So I'm lacking a few iron plates. Let's change that. I also wanted to do some other fine things, and let's get into the car and grab us some iron plates. So I'm going to build a new centrifuge where I'm refining the uranium there. So, go. But I think I already made a pretty nasty mistake there by connecting this whole system to the power plant there, because I pretty much used up all the uranium-235 already. So, and the problem is I need the stuff for the recycling process, because out of this process I won't get any 235 out anymore, and 235 is only produced at this part of the factory. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this here and wait until we have brought up a new stockpile of that stuff. But for the time being, I want to set up this system here and see if it works out as intended. Especially, I want to check out if the steam flow is working out as I wanted. So there we go. Oh, I'm out of power poles. But overall, with 150 turbines running, I would produce 1.5 gigawatt of energy with that. I didn't expect to get that much bang for my buck. I expected to produce a power plant which would give me only 500 megawatt of power. Well, how wrong I was. Let's chop down some trees here to grab myself some new wood for the small power poles. I know I could use the bigger ones, but right now I'm just stuck with this idea, okay? Sometimes Factorio players get OCDs. Check out the game for yourself and you will know what I'm talking about, I promise. Jokes aside, I just don't want to use the mediums right now because the small ones are just fulfilling the job so great. So, there we go. Built the largest water boiler so far. Let's bring them here as well. Okay, last cluster necessary. Then we're ready to go. Oh, I have a few more fuel cells. Look here. Awesome. So maybe I can just belt them back. It would be really useful if they would run in a circle there. Rocket control unit. Yeah, sure, why not? Also, I want to build myself some railgun turrets real soon, because I feel like they will make a huge difference in my war against the biters. Also, we're going to be on the edge of lithium production soon, so next episode there will be a few more new combat scenes where I'll try out some new weapon systems. Going to see what kind of new options we have to rain death on the biters. Okay. There we go. That's that. So they're getting enough steam. That's not the problem. Okay. But, well, like most power generating systems, this thing here will only show its true power when it's fully running. But hey, we have now 1.8 gigawatt. I can disassemble most of my power plants once this is running stable. So let's try to belt this in circles. So first step seems to me to wind it up like that. So obviously I didn't do my job well here, because there are still empty fuel cells in here. So my plan has a problem there. So if I want to pipe them back here, we would need to end up somewhere like this, where I can, yeah, I need to reach this point. Okay, let's see if I can attain that. Shouldn't be that hard. So we're going to get a red here. Yeah, that'll work. So let's see if the yellow gets far enough. Yes, it does. So now I'm ready to connect it. There we go. So now they'll get lined back to the generators. Where somehow this one is not able to feed his generator. Is that because... no? Okay. Let's give him another opportunity. I mean, the good thing is that via this system, the full fuel cells will cycle endlessly. So for some reason this one doesn't work. But that's okay. Okay, so we now have insane amounts of power. Huzzah! 1.8 gigawatt. I'm also collecting tritium, which is pretty nice too. But apart from that, I really need to produce myself a larger amount of uranium-238 now, 235 now, because I made a little mistake there. But judging about, well, don't judge too hard about me. It's my first nuclear power plant ever, so we're going to get there one day. So why is here? Ah, so this is the problem. I can't kill my own chest anymore? What's that? Why? This was once a very, very viable and solid choice to kill your own containers. Why can't I do that anymore? I'm very, I'm shocked, okay? So we're going to do something else then, because obviously these things are some trouble to my factory. So I'm going to do something like that. First off, there's always a second chest, you see. And the other thing, we're going to use some belt like this. I'm going to empty my chest here as well. And we're going to lead that over to a big old warehouse, which will take care of all that junk for me. And if the warehouse is full, there's going to be another warehouse behind the warehouse. You see? Okay, so that's why the production was stuck. I see. So maybe the uranium-235 will rack up now a lot quicker. I mean, at least the processing plant here is not offline anymore. So these guys are working out just fine. We have enough uranium for the next 30 hours. Something. And yeah, this is going to be the end of this episode. We we managed to set up the power plant. The only thing that's left now is the Kovarex refining process, but I won't be able to set that in motion before I have accumulated some more uranium-235. But this is, like you see, it's going to trickle in. Another thing I was thinking about, maybe I should grab a new uranium patch as well and refine more of that. I'm not sure yet. Maybe we won't need it at all. Maybe we do. Let's see. But apart from that, I'm very, very happy that I got a hint about the mistakes I was doing, because that would be really, really sad to do such silly mistakes only because I didn't know that Krastorio has a little bit of a different working with that. But as you see here, they're using the fuel cells even though they're not needing them. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to cut this array off for the time being. So I'm going to restart it once I have the proper amount of uranium available to get some recycling going on, because right now I'm having just a lot of trouble with that recycling process. I also noticed that I should possibly buffer that stuff, because obviously there is a problem with the processing of this place. Okay, friends, so drop me a comment down below if you have anything on your mind. I would really appreciate to hear from you, as always. And feel free to like this video to make it a little bit more visible to YouTube, or subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. And yeah, let's hope that episode 52 will have more nuclear power. And I don't know yet where I'm headed next, but it's going to be fun. That's the only thing I'm sure about. Like artillery. I think railguns. See you guys next time. Bye bye.